Ah, Rome, the land of togas, epic battles, and an empire so powerful it basically ruled the ancient world. But as we all know, what goes up must come crashing down. And Rome, well, Rome fell harder than a guy in sandals running on marble floors. So what happened? How did one of history's most powerful empires crumble like a stale piece of bread? Let's find out. Rome wasn't built in a day, and spoiler alert, it didn't collapse in one either. At its peak, Rome was the place to be. It had a booming economy, strong military, and bathhouses fancier than your local spa. But problems were already bubbling under the surface, like a bad batch of wine. The empire had one tiny issue: it was too big. Managing Rome was like trying to babysit 100 toddlers at once. Barbarians in the north, Persians in the east, everyone wanted a piece of Rome. And defending it, well, that was getting expensive. So naturally, Rome did what every struggling empire does: raise taxes, which shockingly did not make people happy. And then, just when Rome thought things couldn't get worse, boom, plague. Yep, a nasty plague, possibly smallpox, spread like gossip at the Forum. It wiped out millions, including soldiers, farmers, and emperors. Rome's economy tanked, and when people aren't working, no one's making that sweet, sweet bread. Literally, no one was making bread. Things were looking grim. And then Rome's leadership turned into a game of musical chairs. Except instead of music, there were daggers. In just 50 years, Rome had nearly 30 emperors, and most of them had a shorter lifespan than a carton of milk. Generals were backstabbing each other left and right, and meanwhile, the real enemies, barbarians, were still knocking on the door. Then came Diocletian, a man with one solution: split the empire in two, Eastern Rome, Western Rome. Problem solved, right? Nope, now it was just two failing empires instead of one. Great job, Diocletian. Then came Constantine the Great. He managed to glue things back together, but also moved the capital to a new city, Constantinople, aka modern-day Istanbul. So now Rome wasn't even Rome anymore. And the Western Roman Empire? Well, it was circling the drain. By the 5th century, things were an absolute mess. The military was falling apart, the government was corrupt, and get this, Rome even hired barbarians to fight in its army. Imagine hiring the very people who've been attacking you. That's like hiring a wolf to guard your sheep. Spoiler, it did not end well. And then, the unthinkable happened. In 410 AD, a Germanic tribe called the Visigoths, led by Alaric, decided they weren't just going to knock on Rome's door, they were going to kick it down. They stormed the city, looted it, and left Rome looking like a college dorm after a weekend party. It was the first time in 800 years that Rome had been invaded. Ouch. By 476 AD, Rome had one last emperor, Romulus Augustulus. And let's be real, the guy had the name of a Roman hero, but the power of a wet sponge. A barbarian leader, Odoacer, walked in and basically said, "Yeah, I'm in charge now." And that, folks, was the official end of the Western Roman Empire. So what can we learn from Rome's fall? Turns out, running an empire is really hard. Rome's downfall wasn't one thing. It was corruption, bad leadership, economic collapse, and trusting barbarians way too much. They got too big, too lazy, and forgot what made them strong in the first place. But hey, Rome's legacy lives on. We still use their laws, architecture, and even some of their words. So, next time you're stuck in traffic on a road built by the Romans, just remember, at least your empire hasn't fallen. Yet. And that, my friends, is the hilarious, tragic, and slightly ridiculous story of how Rome fell. Now who's up for some pasta? Kindly like and subscribe.